So smartwatches is an amazing genre to review, and it's just exciting to see all the different variations, the different features and styles that different companies come up with. But one pattern that we see so far is that they lack variations.
Second chance, you take my breath and I can't get it back. Might be time for me to face.
So today we're taking a look at Mobvoi's take on proper entry-level smartwatch that runs Google Wear OS, and to see if this watch is what you've been waiting for. Welcome to a review of the Mobvoi Ticwatch E3. Hello, my name is Sean and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I do a lot of tech reviews as well as unboxing, and if that is something that interests you, do consider subscribing to this channel, leave a thumbs up on this video as well as share this video to all your friends around. And with that said, let's get on with a review of the Mobvoi Ticwatch E3. So the Mobvoi E3 was sent over to me by Mobvoi for review, and although these were sent over to me, I'll still be providing my honest opinion so that you know exactly what this watch is capable of doing before buying this watch. The price wise, these are not your standard budget smartwatch, but compared to other Wear OS watches like the Samsung Galaxy Watch 4, the Ticwatch E3 is actually very budget friendly. Coming in at only 180 USD or about 760 Malaysian ringgit, this watch is definitely worth checking out. So let's see if this new watch is worth the premium, and if you're interested in getting this smartwatch, do check out my links in the description below. So the E3 is a simple looking smartwatch that is designed to mimic a typical rounded watch, and I personally have a fondness for round smartwatches because maybe I'm too used to the square look of Apple Watch, so any round watch just feels very fresh. So the main case of the watch is 44mm, and the case is mostly made out of a polycarbonate frame and glass fiber combo, so they feel strong and sturdy. The case also looks very premium and feels very high quality as well. So the main body has two buttons here, and they are big and chunky, very easy to press. So the main screen of the watch has a 2.5D curved display, meaning the edges of the glass is curved so that it gives you a very smooth feeling when touching the screen, but that also means that the screen protrudes out of the case so that it's easier to scratch, so you gotta be really careful with that. The main display here is a 1.3-inch LCD display with 360 by 360 resolution, and one main aspect that people complain about this screen is that it's not OLED and it's not sharp enough. Honestly, it's not the sharpest screen compared to the Apple Watch, and the LCD on the E3 also doesn't look as nice. But if you ask me from a day-to-day standpoint, I don't think that is such a big deal, especially coming in at a cheaper price point than more expensive smartwatches from branded brands. From a distance, and if you don't crank up the display, it does look a little bit like OLED screen, so that's pretty nice. And at the bottom of the watch, you get an array of sensors here, and the E3 honestly has everything from your 24-hour heart rate sensor, 24-hour SpO2 sensor, accelerometer, gyroscope, GPS, it has everything. Above that, you also get a nice 4-pin charging port, which is easy to plug in, and Mobvoi puts in a cutout so that the charger will stay in position without falling out, which is a silly thing in many budget smartwatches without this notch, because they just lose connection, and if you don't notice them, you end up with an empty battery. So this is a pretty smart move from Mobvoi. The watch band here is very nice and soft, and Mobvoi uses a 20mm quick release strap, so you can go online and search for any 20mm strap with quick release and it will work. Mobvoi also puts in a very nice buckle here, which is made of the same material as the case, so very sturdy, very nice, and the black buckle just makes the watch look super nice. So in terms of battery life, the E3 is pretty similar to the Apple Watch Series 6, meaning with moderate use like heart rate tracking, sleep tracking and so on, you get about 2 days or less than 2 days of battery life. If you use the onboard GPS to track your workouts, you get significantly less battery, and there are no official ratings with this one, which I would guess that this watch would have probably about 40 minutes to 1 hour of use with GPS on. But if you are really running out of battery and is in a pinch, you can also always turn on the Mobvoi Essential mode so that you get significant increase with your battery stamina, which is said to give you about 45 days of battery life. I don't have that long to test them out yet, but I think it might be since you are only getting bare bones with the Essential mode, like date, time, your steps, and also your heart rate monitoring. So in order to go into Essential mode, all you gotta do is press on the bottom button here and you will see Essential mode. Once you click on it, it will restart the watch into Essential mode, essentially turning off every single feature here, except for a couple of features. So you get your date, your time, your steps, as well as your battery percentage, and if you use your heart rate sensor, you will see your heart rate monitoring there. So that's basically the Essential mode, and you can see that the screen turns off really quickly, so it's basically a watch. So the E3 runs Qualcomm's latest Snapdragon Wear 4100 chipset, which is their latest flagship chipset, and as of this recording, only the Mobvoi Ticwatch E3, this watch, and the Ticwatch Pro 3 runs this chipset. And the result of that is that you get extremely smooth and fast interface with hardly any lag. Everything feels so smooth and fluid, which is really nice. So if I go into any of the menus here just to demonstrate that, you can see if I scroll through any of this, it's so smooth and fast. There's no lag at all. You can scroll through all of your different watch faces here and it's so smooth. Another way you can track that out is to go into the menu itself. So if you click into the menu and you can just scroll through the menu really quickly and you can see there's hardly any lag. So the watch also comes with a Bluetooth 5.0 chipset for all your syncing action between the watch and the phone, 1GB of RAM and 8GB of storage, and since this is essentially a watch with Google Play Store, you can download apps like Nav Music and load it up with your favorite music, connect your Bluetooth earbuds onto it, and you can go out running with this watch without your phone. You can also download Spotify on this watch and use it natively to play your music through your Bluetooth earbuds, but you can't play it through the watch speaker, which would be really cool if you can. The watch is also rated to be IP68 dust and water resistant, so you will be able to bring this watch swimming and shouldn't be much of a problem. And fortunately, there's also a pool swimming sports tracking as one of the activities in this watch. So you can also get notification for your calls and you can also pick up the calls from here, but you can't hear anything or speak through your watch. You still have to use your phone. Unfortunately, the mic and the speaker here doesn't let you talk over the watch itself. Unlike the Apple Watch where you can just pick up from your watch and answer, listen and talk through your watch itself. So the watch interface here is very standard Wear OS, so if you're used to any modern Wear OS device, this will feel just at home. So from the home screen itself, tap and hold to change the watch faces, and there are a couple more you can download from the app. So you can choose a couple more additional presets directly from your watch, which is also super cool. So you can just scroll through all of the different presets that you have here. And if you want to add on additional watch faces, you can actually add them from the watch itself, which is super cool. Very few watches have this. So swiping from the left, you get your Google Assistant and some standard questions that you can ask Google, and you can just use it like a normal assistant feature. Swiping from the bottom of the home screen brings you to your notification center. So here, if you have any past notifications, you can check them out here, but I have turned off my notifications. And swiping from the right itself, you go into widget mode. And inside here, you can actually customize the widgets that you want from the app itself. So later I'll show you that. But what you get to add here is all customizable, but let me just show you some that I've added inside my watch. So the first one is your wash your hands. So now, because of the COVID season, you need to wash your hands for 20 seconds. So there's a timer here for you. But this timer is not automated, so you have to click on start and it will count down and then you wash your hands. So the thing is that you still have to touch your watch with your dirty hands, so not so cool. For the Apple Watch, it's all automatic, so once it detects that you're washing your hands, it starts the countdown timer. So points to the Apple Watch there. So swiping next, I have the heart rate monitoring here, so you can see my heart rate throughout the period. And here I also have another heart rate tracker. So this one, if you click onto it, and it will start reading your heart rate. The reason why there's two heart rate apps here is because one is actually Mobvoi's own app, and this one is actually Google Wear OS heart rate reading. So you can add multiple duplicated widgets if you want to, but you can also just choose to have one, and that's pretty sufficient. Next, I have a timer. So here you can set your timer if you're cooking and you need certain timing. So that's very cool. Then you have your weather. I also added a simple calculator here, so I can just very quickly calculate something. So that's basically all of the widgets that I added for this watch. So swiping from the top, this is where you get your command center. So this is where you get to adjust your brightness. This watch does get pretty bright, and it also gets pretty dim. So you can set it somewhere in between in the middle here, and it will look pretty nice. Next to that, you get to toggle whether or not to go into silent mode, find your phone. So if you click on this, it will start locating your phone and your phone will ring. This is to go into theater mode so that you don't disturb anyone. This is do not disturb so that you don't get notification, and this is airplane mode. So then after that, you can also go into settings here, and you can adjust a lot of different settings of your watch, including the display, the gesture, and so on and so forth. So from the home screen itself, if you tap the top button here, this one opens up the menu. And inside the menu, you get quite a lot of features here. So the top portion, you get a couple of the Mobvoi's own apps. So you get exercise, pulse, which is your heart rate, you get to track your sleep, your oxygen, and so on and so forth. But then you will also get a repeated one for the Google Wear OS. So here you will see Fit Breathe, Fit Goals, Fit Heart Rate. So all these are your Google Wear OS apps. So that's a redundant there, but that's typical to most Android or Google OS. So at the bottom here, you can see that I've added Nav Music. So Nav Music is where you can download your musics into your watch itself and listen to it natively. So that's cool. You get your Google Play Store where you can download apps like Spotify or Tidal. So that's what you get with the menu here. And if you click onto the bottom button, this will activate sport tracking. So you can go inside here and choose all the different sports that you want to track, and you can start them, and it's pretty seamless. So if you click into any one of it, you can see that it's finding for GPS. And if you don't want to start with GPS, just click go and it will start tracking. And if you press and hold on the bottom button here, you will go into some quick features here. You can speaker drain. It means after you swim, the speaker will spit out all of the water inside. You can go into essential mode and turn off your device, and so on and so forth. So that's basically all of the watch interface that you get with the Ticwatch E3. So there are a couple of apps that will work with this watch, and if you have the Mobvoi app, of course that will work, and your Wear OS app and your Google Fit app. But let's just focus on the Wear OS app because that will be the main app for you to use. So in the Wear OS app, the first thing you can do is switch up your watch faces here. So if you click into more, there are about 28 different watch faces here that you can choose from, and all of these are free. You don't have to pay for any of it. And as you click on any one of this, it will directly appear onto your watch. So if I click on that one, you can see that it appears immediately. If I click on this one, it will appear immediately. So that's how you change the watch face. And if you go down here, there are a couple of more things that you can do. The first one is tiles. This is where we talked about you can manage the tiles or the widgets inside your watch. You can also add additional widgets if you want to. There are not too many, but at least it's customizable. You can also adjust the notification, which app that you want appearing or pushing notification into your watch. You can choose which calendar you want to use, whether in my case it's the Apple Calendar or Google Calendar. You can also choose whether to use your Google Assistant. And inside advanced setting, this is where you get your battery percentage of your watch to see how long more it will last. Tilt to wake, and always on screen. So those are some of the key features you get inside the Wear OS app. And if you go into the Mobvoi app, you get one key feature, which is the watch face center. So as you go into the watch face center, here is where you can pick from a bunch of free watch faces, or you can also buy some of them that you like. So the watch face center is more like a store, and you can install them into your watch if you like them. So if you need more than what Google Wear OS offers you in their watch face, then this is the place to go. So that's basically all you get to do inside the Mobvoi app. So comparing the accuracy of the heart rate sensor and the SpO2 sensor, comparing it with a dedicated oximeter as well as my Apple Watch 6, And usually for the SpO2, I usually get quite an accurate reading, about 1 or 2% variation, and for the heart rate sensor, it varies about 3 to 4 BPMs. So still pretty good, and I definitely think that this watch is pretty accurate. So I think this watch is great if you want a full-featured smartwatch, but don't want to pay the premium that companies like Samsung or Apple charges. And for a smartwatch that comes with Wear OS 3, the latest Snapdragon chipset, and all the features you need like heart rate tracking, sleep tracking, SpO2 tracking, and even an onboard GPS, I think this watch is definitely worth the price. So that is it for this review. If you find this video helpful, smash that thumbs up button, share this video everywhere, and if you haven't yet subscribed, do consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next video.